We're super excited to officially release our circuit top 25 rankings. We wanted to wait a little bit to release these until teams were able to get enough time on the floor where we could really evaluate them. But Alec and Rashad, going forward, will have these rankings updated each week on the season ticket. And we're going to take you guys through them right now, starting with number 25. Rashad, the New York Lightning. Tell us about them.
Look, I had a chance to go watch this team, and I was very excited to see the pace that they play with. One player in particular that caught my attention right away was Villanova commit Mark Armstrong. This kid is fantastic. He can make shots in open space. He's a tremendous athlete, not very big, but he plays 6'5". This is a great get for Villanova and their pro-style offense. And this team carves you up with two other guards. They have a 3-guard rotation. They carve you up. They get into you 94 feet. They're exciting. The bench is involved. This is an exciting team to watch. So I had fun watching those guys.
Another exciting team coming in at 24, the New York Jayhawks.
Yeah, the Jayhawks, they've yet to play this year, but, perennially they're, one of New York's strongest teams right next to the New York Lightning, which is important to say. I think as of this morning, they officially announced their switch. They've merged with the New Heights Lightning, with New Heights. So they're the New Heights Lightning now. But either way, New York basketball is obviously, super strong. Jaquan Harris is their top player. He's committed to Seton Hall. They just have a really good lineup top to bottom, and definitely worthy of a preseason ranking.
All right, number 23, this team sponsored by CP3. Makes sense because it is Team CP3.
Yeah, they're always good. One of the best EYBL records of all time, combined. And they got off to a pretty good start and dropped a game to our next ranked team. But they're led by 5-star point guard Jaden Bradley. They really have high major talent across the board. There's good arguments to be made between their 16s and 17s, and their 17s really made a case, especially in their first 2 ball games, to be one of the most athletic teams in America. So they dropped a game to Team Teague, but yeah, we expect Team CP3 to be within the top 25 most of the year.
And yes, like you just said, dropped to Team Teague, which comes in at number 22. They just went 4-0 in their last tournament. Rashad, tell us about them.
Look, I really love Illinois' commit Reggie Bass. This kid is fantastic, left-handed, strong type of scorer. They're undefeated so far. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the future. Really good team.
Yeah, it's hard to beat CP3. Beating CP3 is, that's a resume builder for sure.
All right, at number 21, 3D Empire.
Yeah, I think, they're led by Ryan Agarwal, who's going to Stanford, and then Anthony Black, who's arguably, the best dual sport athlete in America. Really, really, really good football player as well. And yeah, those two are dynamic. Their supporting cast has been super productive. They're 12-2 on the year. Until someone beats them, they're going to be the best independent team in Texas for sure.
Another team that has an all-star with a great supporting cast comes in at number 20. Rashad, Team Trey Young.
This may be my favorite team in the entire tournament because obviously I love the name Trey Young, right? But they have a supporting cast. They have 6'9" Lee Dort, and they have the hybrid guard and Noah Shelby, both Vanderbilt commits. Jerry Stackhouse, great job of getting those two kids. I've been in the gym with them. They're fantastic, but I also like Kalen Goff Brown. This kid has excellent range on his jump shot. He's a crowd pleaser. Look for him to make some noise alongside Noah Shelby and Lee Dort.
Yeah, and that rotation gets rounded out by a 5-star sophomore, Jacoby Walter, who, is a 3rd or 4th option. That becomes, a pretty scary lineup. Caden Cooper just picked up an offer from Oklahoma State. He's their 6th man. He plays baseball as well. I mean, they're just top to bottom. It's hard to overlook for sure.
All right, at number 19, a team that just joined the Adidas circuit. That is from Tennessee. We All Can Go.
Yeah, they're led by Chris Livingston. They haven't played yet this year, but with Chris Livingston kind of headlining that roster, we have some pretty big expectations for him. He averaged, I think, 32 and 16 during the high school season, and he's joined by Devon Ree, who's heading to LSU, 6'7", 6'8" shooter. Like to get up and down the floor. They will live up to that name. They will live up to that billing. They will definitely be able to go, and they will play fast.
All right, in our 18 spot, that's Team Breakdown. Rashad, they have one of the best sophomores in America.
Absolutely. It's the Bewley brothers, right? It's a tongue twister, but
it is.
these two brothers are fantastic. I believe Matt Bewley is the better of the two, top 5 in the country. They're going to be a dangerous team. I'm excited. I actually want to sit down and really study this team. This how I want to watch them. So I'm excited for them going forward.
Yeah, it's rare. It's rare to see a team led by sophomores, quite honestly. And if we're grasping at straws when you're saying which one's better between 6'9" super athletes. So
yeah.
All right, guys. At number 17 is Team Thrill out of Maryland. Alec, what do you like about them?
Yeah, I like this team led by Derace Walker, primary guy for IMG Academy. 2 other IMG Academy guys there as well, with Noah Batchelor and Lou Hutchinson. And then Christian Winborn is a guy Rashad would love. I'm definitely going to put him onto him. Just a scorer, just a playmaker, gets everyone involved. Had a really good weekend last weekend. They went 2-1 and beat, I guess you can call them a rival, city rival team takeover of the EYBL, which is, you like beating CP3. That's a difficult win. So, comfortable putting them at number 17. Excited to see what they become when they start to gel.
All right, well, we're going to stay with Maryland teams. At number 16 is Team Durant, 3-1 on the season. Again, Alec, give us a rundown.
Yeah, Durant, they're really good, led by Derek Whitehead, who's going to be Montverd's star next year. Played really well this year. I know Rashad loves him.
Yes.
He's going to be the guy. I'm excited to see what a team looks like when he's the guy. They went off to a 3-1 start at the E1T1 Invitational. And a lot of people thought their 17s might be playing second fiddle to their 16s, who are number 1 in the country in 16U, but the 17U team proved to be, they're gonna be an issue. They're they got Rodney Rice too, high major kid, Khalif Crawley. Yeah. They're a good team.
All right, in our 15 spot is Southern Assault. They've had quite a bit of time on the floor this year, 7-1 on the season, and they have a pretty good kid with the first name Keontae. Rashad.
Yeah, I really like this kid. I've watched him for about 2 or 3 years now, and when you talk about scoring the basketball, there's not a lot of kids in the country that does it in that style and fashion as Keontae. So he's lights, camera, action type of player. He's getting better at making guys around him better. So that's the intriguing part about his game. I love his trajectory, and it should be exciting to watch.
All right, at number 14, I love this name, the Night Riders. Alec.
Yeah, they live up to the name for sure. They'll actually be at our debut event this weekend, the Circuit League. Just a lot of athletes like to get up and down the floor. Added a couple pieces. Their point guard, his name's Jay-Zion Gortman. Super entertaining player. Pretty impeccable footwork for a kid his age. Just the way he's able to play at a controlled speed.
And Alec, before you go, they're gonna have a college coach pretty much at every game from the state of Michigan, right? They get a guaranteed college coach to watch them, right?
You get the loophole. That's the loophole, baby. Jet Howard is a member of the backcourt who's Juwan Howard's son. So I'm excited to see them. Another coach is going to be at our event too. Jason Hart, his son Jason Hart Jr. plays for Belmont Shore. Yeah. Guys, smart. Kind of take advantage of the loophole when you can get it. But sons are both very good basketball players. Jets, he's a problem as well. So they got Malik Renault. They got Barry Dunning, best player in Alabama. They got Fabio Basili, who played for the Puerto Rican national team. Like they're really good.
They're really good.
See what they look like when the full group comes together.
All right, Phenom University comes in at number 13, undefeated on the season.
Yeah, Phenom got off to a great start. They're super deep, led by Seth Trimble, high major, point guard recruit. He's going to be a lot of people are going to want him when they see how he plays this summer. And the supporting cast has done really well too. Danilo Janovic, I believe his name is, 6'8" swingman, has really come on the scene. So they're a lot of fun to watch. They play as a team, and it's refreshing to see in grassroots basketball for sure.
All right, number 12 is NJ Scholars, led by DJ Wagner. And Alec, I know you kind of wanted to talk about these guys. Wagner's dad is Juwan Wagner, who's one of your favorite players.
I'll talk about him enough. Yeah, Juwan Wagner is my favorite player. So, take the wheel, Kate. Tell us about DJ, Camden High School. He's the number one player in the class of 2023. Really just kind of an electric player all around.
Yeah, there's an old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? And this is the clear example of that when you watch DJ.
Yeah.
All right, at the 11 spot. Alec, you have anything else you wanted to add there?
No, I was just going to say it transitions perfectly into the guard that leads Vegas Elite. I was going to say there's a lot of similarities between DJ and York Johnson, who leads Vegas Elite. They got off to a 4-0 start in Dallas, and he's playing alongside Richard Isaacs. Just a really dynamic backcourt on paper. I mean, I can't put together, two floor generals, two guys who make things happen better than, Dior and Ricky in that class. And, it's been a while since we've seen Dior on the court, but, there's one thing that Dior knows how to do is to make plays and make people's jaws drop. So, I'm expecting to see a lot of that this summer. I know Rashad has, been following.
Yeah. Dior is very exciting from top to bottom. I mean, there's not a lot of kids in the country that draws like he does. He's so talented. I just want to see that kid put it all together. And when he does, watch out.
All right, so that was Vegas Elite at our number 11 spot. Breaking into the top 10 now, another player who draws quite a crowd, plays for Bates Fundamental at number 10.
Yeah, that name Bates kind of sells itself when you talk about Amani. I mean, this is a kid that has more fan appeal than any high school player in the country right now, and rightfully so. 6'9", can do a little bit of everything. He's a terrific scorer. He's fantastic on the perimeter, putting the ball down, getting to his spots, shooting over tough defenders. I would like to see him defend a little bit more. Because when he gets to the higher level, he's going to have to be more of a defender to add on top of that elite scoring. But, this kid is one of the best talented kids that I've ever seen. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and I agree almost wholeheartedly. I think, it's at the point where we can talk about all the things he does well. The things, that he needs to improve on is defense. And I think that's why I'm excited to see him on the circuit is I think the best is going to be brought out in him because he's going to be facing talent every single game. He's going to get guys best. So, it's a never bad sign when your last name's on the front of your jersey in grassroots basketball. So,
that's very true. Okay, coming in at the number 9 spot is Team Loaded. They are 8-1 on the year. Alec, again, tell us what you like. Yeah,
and I think their loss is due to them not having their kind of entire team in flux, but. Jaden Epps, dynamic guard, Tyler Nickel, super good on the wing. Donald Hand Jr., he's following in the footsteps. He's a terrific shooter. And then got Malik Brown as well, who missed a couple games. And I think that's, kind of what led to their setback. But Team Loaded's always good. Again, like we all can go, they live up to their name. They're usually loaded. Their North Carolina team's very, very good as well. I'm looking forward to their Virginia squad there. I think
Wait a minute. I think I just had an epiphany. Did you say Donald Hand Jr.?
I did. Yes, I did. I figured that would catch you off guard.
So his father was a great guard at UVA. He also was my teammate and my roommate at Portsmouth when we were coming out together. So you guys just exposed my age.
Yeah.
But Donald Hand Jr. is fantastic. Tell your father I said hello.
Yeah, and you know what? He's, if his name was Johnny Smith, you'd look at him and be like, wow, this, the kid just he doesn't really make mistakes. Really good shooter, and I'm constantly getting updates on, hey, this whole team can go. And I think 9's the perfect spot for him.
And just for the record, Rashad, you're not that old, okay? It's all right. Don't age yourself.
That
time to you
is
today.
the key word.
Okay.
That.
Yeah. All right. Number 8, we have Team Spartans.
Yeah, highest ranked independent team in our rankings, hoop group team. Been together for years and led by a 5-star big man, Donovan Klingon. Won the hoop group Spring Jam Fest MVP. But I really like their supporting pieces. Matt Curtis, 6'3" point guard or combo guard. Really shoots it well. Just got offered by Rutgers. Torrin Bosworth was shooting the cover off the ball. He's a Tilton product. I think he's a really good low major, mid major kid. And then Kalu Anya is kind of like their X factor. He gives them more size. The only thing I worry about them is about enough size to compete with some of these national teams. And he's 6'8", has broad shoulders. He really came into his own the second half of that tournament as well. I was very impressed watching them live. So very deserving of their 8th ranking. And I know Rashad's had a look at Donovan as well and came away impressed.
Tremendous kid.
All right, guys. At number 7, we have New World.
Yeah, I believe they're the highest ranked Adidas team. They are, and they're deep. They have a lot of talent. They're led by a kid named Tyrell Ward, who goes to DeMatha, 6'5" athlete, big man, favor air. He's their 7-footer. They just have all the pieces. They played really well to start the season. They lost to our next team up in our rankings, and that's their only blemish. So. Top to bottom. They have a kid named Devon Caesar too, who I'll talk to Rashad about off the podcast here. But he's an unsigned kid that's really one of the best unsigned 2021s in the class, and has the makings to make a college look really smart if they take a liking to him.
All right. Well, that next team that they did lose to is E1T1 United at our number 6 spot. They went undefeated recently at their home event, the E1T1 Invite, and have 8 guys who are high major prospects: Emmanuel Sharp, Dylan Mitchell, Ben Middlebrooks. I believe he just committed to Clemson. Is that right? Bruce Thornton and AJ Brown. So a whole slew of guys with plenty of talent. They're going to be really fun to watch this year going forward.
I really like the Emmanuel Sharp kid. He has a little bit of hybrid guard in him.
He's right in your backyard, right? All these kids.
Yeah. Like I know a lot of these kids, but Sharp is fantastic. He's a knockdown shooter. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit. He's an underrated athlete. Has great IQ. So I like that team. But Sharp is one of the players that I have highlighted.
All right, at number 6. Team Charlotte. Rashad, you should also have these guys highlighted because they are unbeaten on the season.
Yeah, that's because of their coach, Jeff McGinnis. Like, we haven't talked about any coaches in the entire show. So here, Coach, I'm going to give you your flowers right now. Look, I don't know if I have any eligibility left, but if I did, I would be in line to play for Coach McGinnis because he's just one of those player coaches that gets the most out of his kids. He injects them with confidence. He injects them with this fearlessness about them, and they go out and they run through a wall for this coach. So, hey, Jeff, call me. I think I got some eligibility left. I can give you about 18 minutes. I'm going to give you about 4 threes. I'm not going to play any defense, but I'm going to give you some offense.
Can we call him the Greg Popovich of grassroots basketball, a guy who gets a ton out of his players? Is that fair?
Yeah, he's a mix between Greg and Jeff's. If you've seen him on the sideline, he's a bit fiery. So, and that's what I love about him is he goes to bat for his players and vice versa. And you see a team that might not be the most talented on paper, but they come at you in waves and they don't stop. And I think that's a product of their coach.
Yeah.
All right, at number 4, Team Thad. These guys had a little bit of a delay to start their season due to COVID, but they're rolling now. Yeah,
they should have been in the EYBL last season. Obviously, it's been delayed about a year, and they were Under Armour's. They have Under Armour's most pros from the Under Armour circuit. So they were making the move over to Nike, and, they come in with, again, not a ton of, I guess, stars, if you will, but Amar Knox is about to be a star. They got a kid named Justin Morgan, hit 7 threes in their win over the Knight Riders. It's not an easy team to beat.
Be careful.
That's the type of performance you need to beat that type of team. And my favorite player on the team, Solomon Washington, 6'7" athlete, runs up and down the floor, can cover the 1 through 4. And they all play. They a lot like Team Charlotte. I'm glad they're right next to each other. They play hard. You watch them, and you watch Thad Young play. Rashad can attest to this. He plays hard, right? It's one of the reasons he's still in the league. His team, they embody that for sure.
Yeah, they say a lot of times your team is a reflection of the sponsor. Yeah. This is the team that does it.
All right, well, a team out of my backyard, you guys talk about everyone coming out of Rashad's, is Mean Streets out of Illinois. Alec, 7-0 on the season so far.
Yeah, I love this team. I think they have everything needed to make a deep run at everything you play for in grassroots. They got Jalen Washington, probably the best player in Indiana, 6'10", can stretch the floor, likes to run up and down the floor. They got Cam Kraft, who really came on strong, 6'5", 6'6" shooting guard, hit a game winner for him in their 4-0 performance. They got Ty Rodgers, arguably the best player in Michigan. So all these players, kind of from around the area are converging in one spot. You're kind of seeing what happens.
Wait a minute, Kate. So your backyard have some kids from my backyard in Michigan. So I don't know if I can give you all that credit right now.
Maybe we could join backyards, play across the driveways, whatnot's.
That'll work.
And I guess their one, I guess their big Chicago piece is AJ Casey. And he's 6'9" as well.
Yeah, he's a real dude.
Arms. Very fun to watch.
USA basketball kid. Yeah. So him and Jalen and just the whole, and Ty and you add it all up, and along with them being undefeated, they have all the makings on paper.
All right. Well, in our number 2 spot, a team that's a 2-time Peach Jam champ. They've had loads of talent on their squad over the years. That's Mokan Elite.
Yes. We can kind of talk for days about Mokan's kind of culture and, their consistency and whatnot. This year, you're going to pair it with a lot of talent on the floor. They got, I'll let Rashad kind of touch on Sky Clark a little bit, but, he's committed to Kentucky. He's going to be their floor general. Damian Mayo's alongside him, one of the most underrated guards in the country, I think. And then you look at their, pieces inside. You look at Aiden Shaw. He's one of the best dual forwards in the country, does a little bit of everything for him. And then, when you look at their big man, they got Felix Akpara, who's 6'10", 6'11", and Taurus Reed, who's 7 foot. Both are skilled offensively. Both have great footwork. They're going to be in great shape because they're on Mokan. So, there's a lot to like about Mokan, and they'll be at our event this upcoming weekend. We're excited to see their season debut.
Yeah. So when I think about Mokan, I think about mystique. Mm-hmm. Mokan is they're like the Lakers of the circuit. They have this magical mystique about them, and given their history. And when you talk about a player like Sky Clark, who's one of my personal favorites, this kid can do anything with the ball in his hands. He's fantastic in ball screen. He gets his own shot. He creates space. He's going to be terrific when he steps on campus for University of Kentucky. But all in all, Mokan is the Lakers of this circuit. They have that mystique. I don't know if teams can get over it. Yep. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, and Calipari's got to be happy you hit the nail on the head with Clark operating in the pick and roll of those bigs. He's going to have Taurus Reed and Felix Akpar and Aiden Shaw to work with, making plays for him. He's well suited to have a big season.
Yep.
He will be fun to watch next year for sure. Our final team, who is going to be very fun to watch as the season progresses, they just hosted their own event at their brand new facility, so that's exciting news for them. They went 2-0. Team final is our number 1 spot.
Yeah, and before we get into what they have on the floor, I love what they've done with their event. They launched their new facility. I think this is kind of the way grassroots programs are trending, kind of having their own facility, having it's its own draw. It's like a mini Palestra. I thought that was awesome. But the talent they put on the floor, on paper, best team in the country, I think. They got 4 high major guards. They got a couple top 100 big men, and then they have the number 2 player in the country who looked like every bit of a lottery pick when he was running up and down the floor against the City Rocks and the Wrens this week. So they got off to a little bit of a slow start against the City Rocks, ended up winning, I think, by double digits, and then, kind of did what they wanted against Team Mello. So I think that was a good, foreshadowing of what's going to happen with a lot of their competition. But I know Rashad's a fan of Corey Floyd heading to UConn. They got Justice Williams in your backyard, Amont Verd. They're just Jameel Brown, USA basketball player. They're really talented.
But one name I got for you, that's Jalen Durant. Okay, like it's more like this kid is every bit of good as advertised. He's one of my talk soons. How about that? Talk soon.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Well, that is it, guys. Our top 25, circuit top 25 to kick off the season. Although a lot of these teams have started, but to kick off our top 25, our rankings that we'll be updating throughout the year. Look forward to seeing kind of how each team shakes out, how the tournaments go, and we will have updated rankings each week. Is that correct, Alex?
Yeah, we're going to be updating each week. There's a lot of now kind of all the heavy hitting tournaments are happening where a lot of these teams are playing one another, and we're able to kind of weigh their results against one another. So, yeah, it should be fun. And then we'll have 16U top 15 coming as well.
All right. Well, look for those 16U rankings and updated 17U rankings throughout the season on theseasonticket.com.